Hi everybody, this is Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, so the products that I use you can purchase from Stampin' Up through me at the address at the top of the screen, and it's also linked below. My voice is a little bit better, still not healed yet, but I don't know what it was. It wasn't COVID because I got tested for it, and I had COVID a couple months ago, so I guess just a bad cold. Okay. My project today is a tea box that measures 2 3/4 by 3 by 1. All right, and it flips up like this. It says "Take care of yourself" inside, and it holds 5 tea bags. And this one just happens to be lemon lift, which is good if you have a cold. And that's why I liked the lemon paper. I thought it was very good for this one. Okay, so I used the new stamp set and die set from the catalog. This is Cup of Tea stamp set and teacup dies. I also used the new Stylish Shapes dies. I used the circle and I used this large tag. And I used the layering circle dies for the scallop around the stitched circle. I guess it's not stitched, it's kind of polka dotted. And I also used the Teabag 6x6 Designer Series paper. Okay, so what we need for this... Oh, and if you want to join Stampin' Up as a demonstrator, there's no obligation. Once you do the first, that could be the only thing you do, and in 3 months it just expires. But if you wanted to keep it up, you would have to have $300 spent every quarter, so that's 3 months. And that includes what you buy. Okay, and their special this month is, it goes from May 3rd to May 31st. For $99, you get $125 of products that you pick, and then you get an extra $66.50. And that's a total of $191.50 for $99. So it's almost half price. So you'll get 5 of the new in color inks, a pack of assorted cardstock, and the 6x6 DSP. You'll also get a pack of catalogs and 1 paper pumpkin kit. An old one usually. They just want you to know what it's about. All right. So if you're interested, there is a join button below, and if you have any questions, I have my email below also. If you're going to purchase from me from the new catalog, this is my host code here if you're going to spend under $150. If you're going to spend over $150, don't put the host code because you want to be able to get Stampin' Rewards. Okay? All right, so we need a piece of Orchid Oasis that is 11 by 4 3/4. We need a scrap of basic white. We need 2 pieces of this pattern, and this is for the inside. This is the Teabag that are 2.5 by 2 3/4, and 2 of the lemon pattern that are 2.5 by 2 3/4. We need 2 pieces of the lemon that are 3/4 by 2 3/4 and 2 pieces that are 3/4 by 2.5. We need this little teabag tag from the same DSP as this. Okay, this is a 2 1/8 inch circle from the... Oh, I just noticed I missed a spot. We'll have to put that where the teabag is so it covers it. But this circle is from the Stylish Shapes dies, and it's 2 1/8. So then this one is the scallop circle from the layering circle dies from Orchid Oasis is 2 1/4. Okay, and then this tag from the Stylish Shapes dies out of another piece of the Teabag DSP. All right, let's get my Simply Scored. And we're going to start on the 11-inch side. We're going to score at 3, 4, 7, and 8. Then we're going to turn it to the 4 3/4 side, and we're going to score at 1 and at 3 3/4. Okay, and that's that for scoring. And now I'm just going to fold and burnish. Okay. And this is what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to start on the bottom left-hand side. We're going to go to the first score line and cut it straight to the first score line. Other side of the square, and cut it straight to the first score line, and then we're going to wedge both sides of the square. Okay, now we're going to turn it 180. I forgot to say, it's in the long mode and it's symmetrical, so it didn't matter which way you started. Okay, so we're going to turn it 180, and we're going to start directly across from this tab here that we did. And we're going to cut those score lines straight to the first score line again, and wedge both sides of the square. Okay, now I want you to turn it so that the tabs you cut are towards the top. Okay, and what we're going to start on the lower left, and we're going to go to the first score line and cut it straight up to the second score line. I'm going to get rid of this whole bottom rectangle here. And then we're going to wedge each side of this square here. Then we're going to leave this whole piece alone, go to the next score line, and cut it straight up to the second score line again. Get rid of this bottom rectangle here, and then wedge both sides of the square. Okay, and that's what your cardstock should look like after you've scored it and cut it. Okay, now what we're going to do is, this is the outside of the box. We're going to put a little bit of glue on both the tabs. What I want you to do is attach them to this middle piece. Okay, so you have your front flap here. This is the actual back of the box, and that's the front of the box. We want to put them towards where the flap is on both sides, and it's going to take a couple seconds. You could use tear and tape on this. I need to use glue on these pieces, so I figured I would just use glue on the whole thing. Then we're going to put glue on this rectangles here on the piece that is still not attached. Okay, so you're just going to bring them up and attach them so that the bottom and the back fit nicely. And just wait a little while. Just make sure that they're all nicely attached. Okay, then that's your basic box right here. Okay. All right, so now let's get our DSP. And we'll do the inside first. And these are, all four of these are 2.5 by 2 3/4, 2 of each pattern. And I'm going to put the 2 that are almost the same color on the inside pieces. Okay, and then the front and the back, we're going to use the lemon paper, the same size, 2.5 by 2 3/4. Okay, and then the 2 longer strips are for the long sides. They are 3/4 by 2 3/4. And the short strips are for the short sides, and they're 3/4 by 2.5. Okay, so let's let that dry a bit, and we'll get our piece of basic white, and we need our Stampin' Pierce mat because it is photopolymer. And we're going to be using this cup here and this lemon. Okay, so first I'm going to do the striped cup in Orchid Oasis. And I do love this new Orchid Oasis with the yellowy colors. I used crushed curry with it. There we go. And then for the lemon, I'm going to use crushed curry. Great. All right. And then I'm going to use the teacup dies, which are this one here, and that's for the lemon. They also have the sections of the lemon if you wanted to do it all without stamping. Or I guess you could cut this out and do that too. But I just used the stamp. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. There's our die cuts, and I forgot we still need to stamp our sentiment. Now on this one, I put it to the left-hand side. Okay, so we're going to stamp to the right, on the right-hand side of our tag here. And I'm using the sentiment from the same stamp set. It says, "Take care of yourself." And I'm going to use Tuxedo Black Ink. Great. All right. And then I cut the label down to about 2 1/4. This was the signing bonus when I signed up, so you're getting a pretty good deal. If you sign up now, it's almost $200 worth of goodies for $99. Okay, all right, and then I'm going to take my box, and I'm just going to line it up to the left with the cardstock. You could go all the way over if you wanted to. I think I'll do that on this one. I'll go all the way over to the edge. About probably 1/2 inch down on the top of the cardstock. I wish they made refills for these glue because I go through this glue constantly. Okay. All right, now we have, this is also the DSP. I cut a 2 1/8 circle from that and a 2 1/4 using the stylish shapes for this and the layering circle dies for the scallop, and that one is 2 1/4. I'm just going to attach them together, remembering that I have to put my tea bag over that edge that I cut off. Okay. Alrighty, let me see what I did here. Okay, so we also need some baker's twine and our little tag. Okay, and what I did to attach the baker's twine to the tag is I put the baker's twine on it, just like this, and then I put a mini dimensional, which I'm thinking, I wonder if I could have just put a dimensional, regular one. Let's see. Yeah, I think it would fit. I'm going to put a full dimensional on top. So I'm just going to hold the baker's twine on there and press a dimensional on top. All right. And then I had it so that it would come down to about here, the tag. So we wanted, let's see, about to there, about 4 inches more. All All right, and I wanted it coming out of the tea cup. Is that right? It's a little long, so I'd say about 3.5 inches. A little less. Yeah, that's fine, just like that. But I wanted it to come out. Yeah, I said 4 inches, I'd say 3 inches. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dimensional right on top of it again. You could use tape, but I don't know about the acid-free. I know they have some acid-free tape. Okay. And now, this is going to go about right here. So, like right here is where I want it. And I'll, just because I screwed up cutting out my circle. My hands are very sticky from the glue. I wiped them off, but it doesn't seem to work. All right, and then I'm just going to center my cup, just the cup part. The handle is going to come off the side. Okay. And then I'm just going to put my tag off a little bit to the left, kind of right there. That's good. Okay. Now, there's a little bit of the dimensional that's going to stick to our box when we put it on. All right, now for the lemon, I want you to cut between the second and the third wedge up to this line here, not all the way, but just to the line, that the half circle. Okay? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, and I just kind of did it wrong, but I'm just going to have to trim a little off because I cut a little bit. Okay, then what I want you to do is, what's going to happen is the first two are going to go behind the teacup, and then the other two are going to just be on the outside. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue on both sides. And we want the front ones going in. And then just press it until it sticks. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I screwed up. I put it on the wrong, I should have put it down here. Now it's going to get, oh well, sorry about that. It's going to get a adhesive dot on it. But take care of yourself, should be a little bit lower or on this one. Alright, so I'm going to put, I'll put the more translucent one up here this time. I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to put the other one on top with the adhesive facing out. And then I'm going to close it, make sure that your box is even. Press it and then pull it up gently. And then reinforce both sides. And I forgot I have more lemon lift tea. And it fits about 5 packets. You could get away with 4 if you want, but I don't think you could fit 6. Okay, and I think the regular, any kind of the specialty teas will fit in here. The, like the Lipton's, you could make it probably a little shorter, but it'll go in here definitely. All right, okay, now that's finished. Okay, and now we're just going to put liquid glue on the back of our scallop and just center it right here on the top of our box, and then press that down because there's going to be a little bit of the dimensional hanging over now that I used a full dimensional. Okay, and then I'm going to get my glittered organdy ribbon, and I'm just going to put it, I'm going to open it up and put it inside. I'm just going to tie a bow at the top. That'll stay there so they don't have to untie anything. And just be careful not to pull too hard, because then the sides of the cardstock will probably rip in. Okay, and I didn't want to pull it too hard, so it's a little bit high. So what I'm going to do, after I fix my bow here how I want it. Okay. I clip my ribbon, and then I'm going to take a glue dot. I'm going to put it, I'm going to squeeze it underneath the knot. Okay, and then just look for the middle and just press it down, and then your bow will stay right there. Okay, and for the final touch, I'm going to get some of these. These are new. They're called the Glossy Dots Assortment, and they are in Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, and Pool Party. Okay, and I'm just going to get a Daffodil Delight one. And I'm just going to put it on the tea bag. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, my email is below, especially if you would like to join Stampin' Up! As a hobby demonstrator, or just for the offer, or as a business. I would love to explain anything you don't understand, or any questions you may have. Alrighty. The measurements are on my blog, which is linked below, and to buy any of these, my shop is linked below also. Alright, I will see you next time. Have a great Mother's Day to all you mothers, grandmothers, stepmoms, dads that have to be moms, and fur baby moms. Everybody who acts like a mom. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.